Yes, I think it is a bit stretched. If you look at the P multiple at this point in time with the limit up prices, you're looking at about 35, 40 times the P multiple. And the most of the initiation target prices that came out from the most of the brokers, it ranges from anywhere between 33,000 won to about 35,000 won. So it's clearly now the current price is at 60,000 plus. And if this kind continues for tomorrow, the prices will be at, the valuation will become somewhere around over 5 trillion won, which seems to be a bit too stretched. But clearly understand that a lot of people are quite interested in this stock because the untech businesses that we are looking at, the mother company, the Kakao, is the leading company in Korea in terms of the untech businesses, along with the neighbor. And a lot of interest is clearly there. And if you look at the Kakao Games last 3 years of the sales growth rate, it amounts to 57% growth rate in last 3 years annualized, which is the highest level of growth versus the Tencent was about 34%, NCSoft was about 20%, and Netmarble was 13%. And if you look at the Netmarble, the P multiple is right now about 50 times. So I think they're probably targeting into that. And that's why a lot of the growth factors are actually included here. But if you look at the sales number, you're looking at for year 2021, about 750 billion in revenue. And right now, the market cap will reach over 4 trillion won, which is about, about 6-7 times the price to sales. So I think it's a bit stretched, but nevertheless, the Korean retail investors love this stock, and obviously it can push up a little bit more probably till tomorrow.
Right, and what helped to sort of stretch the valuations is really the participation, strong participation from retail investors. In fact, it was oversubscribed by the retail side by 1,500 times or more. I think that's a record for South Korean IPO. What do you think is going on? Is it just simply so much liquidity in the system?
Correct. If you look at the customer deposit of Korea, it has reached 63 trillion won, which is the record number that we haven't seen in the past. And in the past, a lot of the Korean retail investors invested through the institutions. But nowadays, in the last 1 year or so, or since the COVID-19 last 6 months, we are seeing clearly a huge amount of a direct injection into the equity market, and they're buying on their own rather than using institutions. So that's why the customer deposit is rising in such a high speed. And as you know, that the Korean government continues to support liquidity in terms of the M2 growth rate and supporting to the fiscal budget, as well as the lower interest rate environment. And that's clearly causing huge amount of liquidity injections within the system. And therefore, the property market also seems to be at control because government is tackling that very heavily. So one way of increasing the asset value is through investing into equities, and that is resulting into this kind of liquidity, and that, of course, to the tech businesses, which is the growth sector in global equity market at this point in time.